So I see an article. It says deadly demands reportedly made of migrants in Arizona. And so this right here just came in on Yahoo, and I'm going to read the article. So it's really disturbing. So detained migrants say that they were forced to clean COVID infected ICE facility. And so out of Los Angeles, this was written, or the article originated by Jacob Soboroff and Julia Ainsley. So asylum-seeking migrants locked up inside an Arizona Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention center with one of the highest number of confirmed COVID-19 cases say that they were forced to clean the facility and are begging for protection from the virus, according to the letter obtained exclusively by NBC News. This is a life and death situation, said a translation person who was translating what they were saying of their message, dated May 18 and sent to the Florence Immigrants and Refugee Rights Project, a legal advocacy group that has filed a lawsuit on behalf of migrants in this facility. And so there is a video that is attached. I'm going to read, though, the duration of this article because it is pretty serious. So the migrants appealed for help to the advocacy group from inside one of 24 tanks, which holds 120 men each, in the La Palma Correctional Center outside of Phoenix, which is operated for ICE by a for-profit company, Core Civic. So ICE's official count says that as of June 7, 78 detainees have tested positive at La Palma, with 14 cases currently under monitoring and 0 deaths. Okay. So the migrants say that the facility forced detainees in inadequate personal protective equipment to clean and work in the facility's kitchen, despite the fear that it was a prime point for the spreading of the COVID-19 virus inside the center due to the crowding at the meal times. So when some migrants protested, the letter says that they were punished, or they were also verbally threatened. So there's a lot of mistreatment and indefinite lock-ins. And so on one day, when the migrants resisted working in the kitchen, some were sent to the hole, otherwise known as solitary confinement. So 2 migrants described being asked to clean the trash from the nurse's office, where sick patients were treated. And so one said that he was asked that he clean the feces-covered cells of mentally ill detainees without gloves. So other allegations include guards not wearing adequate equipment to prevent infections as they passed from one cell to another, and no measures for social distancing while immigrants lined up for food. So detainees also describe unsanitary conditions like lockdowns that lasted for 3 days with no access to the showers. And so the migrants say that they were given 2 disposable masks of very poor quality in the month of April and received 2 cloth masks in May. So they also say that they did not receive basic hygiene supplies like toilet paper on the weekends. And so meals that detainees say that they were provided after the kitchen at La Palma Correctional Center closed on May. And so this is looking like what the meals were. Very scarce. So this is a still photo of what the meals look like. Not very nutritious at all either. So the migrants say that after the kitchen closed due to COVID concerns in mid-May, they were served sandwich boxes that included 2 slices of rotten ham with the bread, and that's what you see pictured here. The ham, you can see the whitish over the top of it. I guess it's plastic. I might be seeing it a little wrong. Looks like some white, but they said that it was rotten meat. Um, so lawyers for 13 migrants held in both La Palma and nearby Eloy Detention Center, which has 13 positive cases, described the facility in the federal lawsuit filed Monday as a tinderboxes of on the verge of explosion. So there's a lot of anger, fear, anxiety, and people that are probably becoming infected by the overcrowding, and there's a lot of abuse. So adding that in there, so the lawsuit says the migrants are being unlawfully detained because of their asylum hearings that have been delayed, and asks ICE to release the migrants because of the risk of COVID-19 infection. And ICE has released more than 1,300 detainees on similar grounds after its own review or court orders. And so our clients have told us over and over and again it's impossible to practice social distancing in detention centers, said Laura Bellows, an advocacy attorney with the Florence Project, which filed the lawsuit along with the ACLU and the ACLU of Arizona and the law firm Perkins Coie. I believe it's COIE, Coie, Perkins Coie. So it's impossible to maintain 6 feet of distance when the telephone you're sitting on to talk to your lawyer is 1 to 3 feet from the other guy on the phone. So when you're in communal showers and when 40 to 50 guys are touching the same door, so that disease is going to spread like wildfire. And the fact that is, it has. So people shouldn't have to choose between the health and the immigration case, said Bellows. And so this is a situation that was completely avoidable. So in response to the inquiry on NBC News, ICE spokeswoman said that as a matter of policy, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement does not commit or comment on pending litigation. So the spokeswoman added that ICE has been following CDC guidelines related to COVID-19, and the health, welfare, safety, and detainees is one of ICE's highest priorities. But so far, it's not looking like it from what I've been hearing. So NBC News earlier reported that ICE's practice of transferring detainees around the country without extensive testing had led to the coronavirus outbreaks in 5 states. And so there's a lot of response. Look at this as the meals that they give the people. And so, in which they say, look, and there is a piece of plastic over the meat, but they said the meat was rotten. It's very scarce, very poor conditions, overcrowding. And so I wanted to make mention of this. So anyway, I'm going to try to play the video and see if it comes out. It might be.
We've got breaking news amid new fears of coronavirus outbreaks, especially among the country's most vulnerable populations. This morning, NBC News has learned exclusively about a dire situation inside one Arizona ICE detention center. Migrants calling it a life or death situation. NBC News correspondent Jacob Sobroff is back from paternity leave. He joins us now to break that story. Jacob, welcome back. What's going on?
Hey, Steph, thank you very much. You know, the Trump administration has been harshly criticized for its immigration policies throughout the duration, obviously, of the Trump administration, but particularly during the coronavirus and using the coronavirus as a cover to implement some of the harshest policies of the administration. And now, in Arizona, in the La Palma Correctional Facility, migrants, in a letter exclusively obtained by NBC News, are literally begging for their lives, saying they are being used to clean infected areas of the facility. Including one migrant who said he was asked to clean feces of another inmate without masks or gloves. There is virtually no adequate personal protective equipment. According to them, only a couple disposable masks they've been given in April and a couple cloth masks they've been given in May. And now they're saying they've been given rotten food, ham, and they put that ham and food into a container, sent it off to lawyers, which we've now gotten pictures of as well, and said that that's all basically that they've got to eat. You're looking at it right there. It is a horrid situation, according to these migrants inside this facility. And so far, ICE has said they just do not comment on pending litigation. And the ACLU, the Florence Project, and others have sued regarding the conditions in this center.
The pain in Minneapolis continues news. This morning, a manufacturing plant that burned to the ground during the riots there said they are leaving the city for good. And in doing so, they are taking jobs with them. I want to bring in two men who understand the impact of poverty on Minneapolis and across the country. Andrew Dayton. He is the
Okay, I stopped it right there. I want you to see there's three different things going on. You have the police brutality, and then you have the overcrowding in detention centers, the mass incarceration, and then you also have the issues with Black Americans suffering, and also Hispanic, brown people, Latino, Black, and brown people both alike suffering in some sense, and so in more ways than one. And so I want to extend this to say that I really do believe deep in my heart that policies have been put in place to keep people that are marginalized more poor, more needy, more in poverty, and more desperate and destitute in situations and in dire need of a lot of support and resources and help. It has not helped us one bit as people, and we're all brothers and sisters. What I believe has happened over the years, a lot of policies have placed in that have been placed out in government have also divided people as different cultures that also struggle with oppression, maybe in other ways, but very similar. And I believe what has happened over the years is Black and brown people have suffered similar fates, and sometimes somewhat slightly different, but it all connects in the end. And so I wanted to bring this article to the forefront because there is a lot of division that has happened throughout the years, and I believe that was on purpose because you have two cultures that have similar backgrounds and have deep roots. And believe it or not, even the Hispanic and brown people have African roots that are deep in their culture as well, even though some people will like to use divisions and use colorism to divide us as people, but we all seem to suffer some same or similar fates. There is the mass incarceration and detention centers of migrants, and then also imprisonment of people that are Black and brown. And so I figure I'd bring this to the attention of a lot of people because a lot of people are focused on the death of one or two individuals, but we all suffer at the hands of some of the same evil people who put these policies in place. And so in order to actually get all of these things accomplished, you have to go for everything straight across the board. But anyway, having said that, I'm going to let this video go. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to leave this picture here so you can see this is what these people are eating. And so we all suffer. I don't care who you are or where you are and what your religious faith is. If you see that this is wrong in all aspects of this, the killings of Black people, the killing slowly of migrants, the killing of people that are marginalized, that are suffering, these are the things that need to be spoken out on. And if you are about change, you're not going to say, I'm going to be the new white person. You're not going to say, well, I don't look like you and I might can pass for white. You're going to say that our people suffer too, just like your people are suffering, we're suffering. We're no better than who you are because we're all in the end human. We bleed blood. We suffer alike in some sense by the hands of the same evildoers. So I just wanted to bring that out because I wanted to bring closure to some of the confusion that's out there. A lot of people like to separate themselves. They like to say, well, I have lighter eyes, lighter hair, lighter skin, or a fair complexion. For whatever religions or groups or cultures you come from, if you are suffering, you are not doing any better, and you're not getting a better life in doing that. This is the type of life that you're getting, and look at this food that they call food that they're feeding these people. So, and having said that, I'm going to let this video go. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for listening. Internet Savvy.